So this will be the test for the time it takes. This is my phone going into my pocket. So no, not the car started yet or anything else. I'll just unlock the garage. Then I will unlock the car. And we will now go inside to look for how long it takes to start. Now inside the car, putting the key in. Still my phone here. No wires, nothing connected. And there it's starting. So I'll get the maps out of the way. So there it is. Just took a few seconds. So once inside the car, again the iPhone is not connected via any wires. I could connect it. I have a USB connection in the glove box, but this is not used. So we have the buttons here. It's controlled via media. One press on media goes back to the Audi interface, where you have the source selection. And there it is. I have the jukebox. I think it's the onboard storage, SD card, DVD, and the CD changer, Mr12Volt. It's the CarPlay interface and my aux input. So I just select the Mr12Volt. One click on media, it goes back to the CarPlay interface. I can also use the rest of the MMI. I can click on the radio and the radio starts playing. I can still go to the Audi navigation. I can go to the info and all the other buttons work as well. All the telephone stuff, and if I go back to media, I'm back in the CarPlay interface. So the rotary dial works just like in any CarPlay interface. I can just scroll through it. If I press it down, I go into the next one. I can also go back with return. I can skip tracks. And if I press the mute, it automatically goes on pause. If I press mute again, it resumes playback. So this button works. Volume control here works. If I long press on the steering wheel, I get Siri. Of course, it only works when the ignition is on. Wie wird das Wetter heute?
Laut Vorhersage wird es überwiegend bewölkt heute. Die Tagestemperaturen werden sich 25 Grad bewegen, mit nächtlichen Tiefstwerten 13 Grad.
Nice. Of course, the steering wheel buttons only work with the ignition on. But if you long press this, you get Siri. If you short press this once, you get the Audi Assistant. Also, this button in the middle works. I can up and down click it to go one step ahead. With many other devices, while you're in the nav mode with my previous system, when I was there and I clicked and rotated the wheel, it would still in the background scroll through the navigation on the MMI while displaying CarPlay. So I would get the occasional navigation started sound when I randomly clicked on the navigation. This is not the case with this unit. So it doesn't register any scrolls in the MMI system. So if I go back to media, I'm still in the media section here, so it blocks the scroll wheel from scrolling in the background. Yeah, the audio quality is much better because it goes over the MOST bus. It feeds directly digitally into the Audi system. And in the next part I will show you the other system settings of the device. You have all the normal CarPlay settings, and if you go into the Mr12Volt, you have the other different settings. You can connect your phone via Bluetooth, and yeah, I think you can use an USB device to play videos or music from the USB device. You also have Android Auto, but this I will now show you the settings. So you have general, where you can adjust the volume. You can separately from the rest adjust the navigation volume, and you can set this one to, like I showed you, auto start with CarPlay enabled. You then have a few car settings where you can adjust, for example, the reverse condition between reverse state, parking key and gear position. So for the manual transmission, which this is, you have to select the parking key. Then it will enable the reverse camera once this button is either manually pressed or engages automatically when you put it in reverse. So you don't need to wire a cable to the reverse light. And with many other interfaces, it just works on the automatics or if you route a wire. So if you select parking key here, you can then select more camera settings if you have more than a back camera, for the front view, for the right view, and you can enable or disable the tracks that change with the steering wheel. I didn't like them because they are not representing the width of the car, so it's more distracting than helpful. So I disabled that. And reverse radar is, as you've seen on the right, there was the parking distance monitoring from the sensors. You can enable or disable that here. Then if we go to display, you can change brightness, contrast and saturation to your liking. And if we go to sound, this is really cool. You have a fully DSP equalizer, so you have 5 bands for each bass, mid and a treble section. The menu operation is not the best here because you have to scroll through a lot. And these are not fixed frequencies. If you go to one, you can change the frequency and you can change the Q value. So you can fully adjust the equalizer to your liking. I adjusted this equalizer with a test tone where I measured the frequency response of the system, and I tuned it to be the most flat system with a bit of added deep bass and a little bit less mid bass. I tuned this for my specific speaker setup, so you can tune this for whatever speaker system you have. If you have the Bang & Olufsen or the Audi sound system or aftermarket speakers like I have, so yeah, you can fully customize your sound experience here. And you can also change it to flat anytime without losing your self-made equalizer, so pretty neat. Then you just have the language setting and the system information where you can factory reset it. And yeah, that's it for the settings. One thing to keep in mind, if you want to use CarPlay for navigation but want to listen to radio, so if I go to radio, CarPlay disappears from the screen and I can't get it back. So if I long press the radio button, nothing happens. So you can't listen to radio and use the navigation because it only switches between them. This is the only downside that I found. The telephone is still connected via the MMI. So yeah, if I receive a call on my phone, it's still connected via Bluetooth. So if I receive a call, I still get the Audi interface here. I can select the call with my steering wheel. I have the name here. And it also displays in CarPlay. So if I get a call, there's a big call screen there. But the voice communication works over the Audi system. So the call function of the car is still retained. So even if I'm switched to radio while the phone is connected to CarPlay, it's still connected to the MMI over Bluetooth. So this works just the same as before. But I can also use Siri to make CarPlay start a voice call, and it also triggers the MMI Bluetooth. So this is very well integrated, and I really like that.